Flaming hello everybody, welcome to a new painting video. This time I'm going to paint a pretty personal and meaningful illustration on a canvas. The concept of this painting is not new. Several months ago I created a digital illustration called HOMELAND TALE, which I liked so much that I decided to create a canvas version of it, so I can put it on my living room wall. I rarely revisit the exact same concept in my work. Usually I prefer to create something new even on an existing base. However, this case is an exception, I guess. There is something in this concept and idea that I needed to come back to reflect on and dive into one more time. When I started working on this canvas, I already had a sketch and decided to keep the same dark green color palette with bright red accents. Traditionally, I used a grid as a sketching guide to transfer the sketch and decided not to dive too deeply into details, keeping the sketch rough. Compared to digital, the traditional painting process is generally more unpredictable, and I wanted to leave some space for creative randomness and a mindless creative flow. I began with the large background areas, working with tempera and a soft flat brush. Even for the background, I try to mix in different shades with every new brush stroke to make it look a little bit more painterly, I guess. Horrible surprise for me. And now you're going to see my struggle. It seems it was covered with some oily substance in some pretty large areas, making it completely impossible to apply tempera in one layer, no matter how hard I tried. This thing sometimes happens with canvases. But I was sure this one would be okay because recently I had painted another canvas from the same series without any trouble. At first it pissed me off so much and I got so angry, but once I calmed down and accepted that I needed to apply 2 or 3 layers of paint and wait for each layer to dry fully to cover all these annoying white dots, I kind of managed to continue in a more calm way. I believe fighting with this canvas was the most challenging part of the whole process, but as soon as I covered all the white canvas areas with paint, it got much easier. This video is sponsored by my Patreon. Here are some things you can find there. Color exploration posts for your inspiration, tutorials, my textured brush set for Procreate, long process videos, digital art prints, exclusive sketches, and more. I would be happy to see you in my tiny creative community. There's no pressure, of course. Thank you so much for your attention, and now let's get back to the video. Total, I used only 5 colors to paint this canvas: white, black, lemon yellow, light red, and cobalt blue. It was a pure pleasure to play around with various tints of dark green. At the end, I needed to add some red accents over my finalized painting. This was a pretty challenging and stressful moment too, because I was afraid of ruining everything with one awkward hand movement. I made a slightly visible line sketch with a white pencil and worked with the paint very slowly. Aside from this moment, adding final details is always a great pleasure for me. It feels like adding the last pieces to a puzzle, and then you can see the final picture. In your childhood, they tell you many tales about your homeland. How powerful, fair, honest, peaceful, and brave it is. They tell you stories of its unmistakably great past, its great present, and its enchanting future. Unfortunately, as you grow up, you see how these beautiful tales slowly but surely turn into some horror stories. The place that once gave you so much is slowly transforming into a lying, shameful monster hungry for blood and never-ending power. And one day you might lose everything you have if you're brave enough to look directly into the monster's eyes.